Here we go. Hello, it's Monday, 17th of February. Cheers. So the focus of today's video will be a recap of my night. I actually went out last night. Last night was the Omaha Entertainment and Arts Awards. Number 15, maybe? I'm looking at their channel on YouTube. They haven't posted anything from last night yet. They usually, in the past, they've done live broadcasts, but this year was maybe different. The event itself sold out, which they're happy about. And it was held at the refurbished Admiral Theater, which I've played at many times over the years when it was Sokol Hall. Excuse me. Overall, the night was enjoyable. Socially, it was very enjoyable. The program itself was hit and miss. One thing about living in Omaha, where it is predominantly middle-class white history, is to me a lot of the comedy here is really hokey. I mean, hokey. And for me, unfortunately, we had to suffer through several comedy acts, sketches throughout the night, which to me really were corny. They were freaking corny. But I met Dan from RAF there along with a friend of his, Kate. She was in a band that got nominated. We didn't win. RAF, I had neither Dan or I had any expectation for RAF to win this year. We've won 3 times before. We won last year, Best Punk. I went to make sure to witness the in memoriam part of the program, where they do a slideshow of all the musicians that we've lost in the last year in Nebraska, particularly Omaha. So it was touching to see Kelly up there with everybody else. I was kind of showing my age inside of me as I watched, because I knew at least a third to almost half of the people in the in memoriam section of the night. And it brought a tear when I saw it when Kelly finally flashed up. And you see this Danny Vigilante is what he goes by online. Really appreciate you, Dan, as a person. Really love you a lot. And I'm really glad that you and Kelly revived RAF. And you're a very good songwriter and singer and a good person. So glad to know good people. But as you also know, I was asked by my bandmate in Mode Sound, David Nance, the guy, that's his thing. He was nominated for album. We were nominated for Album of the Year. Come on. David Nance and Mode Sound. David was at home celebrating his son Murray's 2-year-old second birthday. So that was his official reason for not going. But I know he really wasn't that interested. That's not why he does music. It's for awards. But he won. Wasn't expecting it. I thought it was a possibility. Of course, it's all a possibility. But David, and because of my involvement in the band and the record, I won. We won Album of the Year. There it is. Here's some funky looking trophies. They had some nicer. I like the ones they had better before these, except they had these sharp angles, which one of mine got chipped. It was like, this is too delicate. This is more sturdy. I understand how this is made, blowing glass and stuff. I, I guess they really like this design, or it's affordable. It ain't bad, but I'd get another one. I'd keep moving. I very much enjoyed. So it was interesting. The very first category announced of the night was punk. We didn't win, but the very last category of the night was album of the year. And so I was the last person to speak out of the audience. I had a great time socially. It's interesting, every city has its scene, every state has a legacy. And I'm just really proud to say that by the time the night was almost halfway over, I'm a local celebrity. I don't ever say it because it's not why I do this, but if I wanted to, I can say it. I'm a local rock star, and some people, I like clothes and stuff, but some people are more peacock like. And when I was younger, especially after I saw Jimi Hendrix, I wished that I could do that. But in the long run, I have persevered by just being myself. And when I look back at some of the pictures where I've attempted to create a look for me, a rock and roll look, I look preposterous. So what I'm saying is that amongst all the people there from all the areas of music and art and film and dance in Omaha, there are a lot of people who strut their stuff and they get dressed up, and there were some nice shoes, and there was people with sparkly stuff, feeling that moment. I'm happy for them, but I'm so happy that all I have to do is show up and be me, and everybody knows who I am. I can say that. I was thinking for a second, when I see a lot of these people, I don't see it. I don't think I recognize a lot of these people. And then it turns out that half of that was that I haven't been socializing so much that some people I didn't recognize anymore. It had been that long. I had a couple folks come up and talk to me, and they never. A couple other folks are like, it took me a minute. So I don't mind sharing that. I like sharing that. My family sees this. I like for my family to see that because I represent in many ways beyond just Dereck. I represent my family. In many ways, I represent the Black community. And I'm recognized in that sense. And I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed the respect, the mutual respect, and also some of the downright reverence I got from people. I had people coming up and wanting to take, can we get a picture? I finally get to meet you. I had that happen, last night. The local band Parfait, who I had never seen before, didn't know any of those guys. They were the night's entertainment. But before they even hit the stage, the drummer of the band was dressed in this really cool silvery suit. I didn't know who he was. But one of the announcers, Allie, I know her, so she's bugging me, we got to get a picture. And he comes over, I finally get to meet Dereck. That's nice. That's the thing that's a little freaky is when people say, I'm traveling and I'm coming, I really want to meet you, And I've had it happen several times. Have I met any of those people when they travel to meet me? Yes, but I also am very cautionary about it. It's like, this is cool, and at the same time, it's like, whoa. That's really what I have. This has been a weekend of no record spinning. Literally. I'm looking at my pile here. Well, I'll tell you, besides doing some heavy viewing right now on the internet, I did attempt to get all the way through this again, The Cure's new album. It's It's really not remarkable at all, actually. When it came out, because it had been so long, it had an effect that finally we get to hear some new Cure. And me personally, the first single from it alone, the music from it, which I reproduced in my own way, that hit me. I thought I could feel that. But overall, the new album is just okay to me. So I'm going to keep it short like this because that's the main thing I want to share. Otherwise, it was cold. It was so cold, and it was the perfect reason why I decided to stop hustling live gigs, because the winter time is prime time for gigs because of holidays, and I don't know what for whatever reason. But if you don't get on the festivals and the summer events, then you're on your own to get gigs. But in the fall and the winter, you can get gigs. But last night was cold, and it just again showed me why I'm done with that, because I was about half frozen when I got home, even with a car heater. I have Raynaud syndrome, where my extremities go numb and freeze real easy. Terry down in Australia, if you see this, thank you for caring about my health. But it's like I'm not going to no doctor unless I really have to, like a lot of men, I can live with it, okay? It ain't what you think. I mean, it's what you think, but it ain't what you think. Because if it was what you think, then I'd be doing something. That's why I like living alone, because I will live and die by my own decisions. Okay? That's the way I want it. I really don't like having other people hover over me, and I really don't like people telling me what to do. Especially you should. Well, you should. That's a word that I strive to not use. I'll finish with this rant. There's two words that I try not to use because of what I learned in psychology: trust and should. The first word, should, when used properly, can be an encouragement, but mostly it's used to shame. And mostly when we hear it, it's negative, okay? It's like people assuming that they know, or whatever the context mostly is. When the word should is used, it's like there's a better way to say it. And should is the worst way to say it. Most of the time, life and death, if it's a life and death situation, I don't think you're going to be saying you should, you better. You'll be saying you better if you're trying to help. You know what I mean? So I don't like that word. Don't tell me what I should do, okay? The other word that I don't use is trust, or I don't have to say that. The person that I've learned that I need to trust is me. And when I hear people saying, just trust me, red flag, I never say that. And when people say that, I think it's a warning sign. Trust you? Oh, that's going to be the last thing I do. You got to trust me. You got to trust me. Why in the fuck should I trust you? You trust yourself? Who made you the big kahuna? What makes you so sure? I'm not so sure, so I know you ain't so sure either. So don't be telling me to trust you. I do not tell people to trust me. Consequently, a lot of people trust me. But that's not what I'm here for. I'm not looking for your trust. I'm trying to get my own shit together. Last thing I'll say, it's very slightly egotistical, but I appreciate the fact that the way I look, and I'm very self-conscious about my missing teeth, people think I look really good. And I heard that constantly. God, Dereck, you look good. But I'm almost 70, and I don't look 70 years old, do I? And I'm comfortable in my own skin, and I think that's what people feel around me. It's like, I'm not worried about you judging me. I ain't worried about fitting in with you people. I see right through you. Like I said in the other video, and someone picked up on it. People don't fool me, and yet they do. And both are true. You know what I'm saying? But I know better than to try to, I've just learned. that I don't have to try to be fake. And the most important dial, the most important voice in my life is the one in my head. I don't hear the voice in your head. So when people come to me and tell me this and this and this and that, I always know that's them. That's their experience. That's their television. That's their receptor. That's what they're receiving. That's not what I'm receiving. So I decide for myself. All right, people, have a great day. I'll talk to you later.